So hey guys, welcome to our weekly Team Perseverance team call. My name is Dave Atkins, for those of you that don't know me, because guys, we are growing by the week and we have new faces constantly, which is so inspiring. And I am the founding coach of Team Perseverance and your upline Star Diamond. And this is when we come together each week, if this is your first time on the call, to go over news, announcements, some recognition, and either a training call topic or a guest speaker. And tonight, I'm really excited to have Amanda on to guest speak. She's going to have a lot of great things to hear her story and a couple tips. And I'm just fired up about tonight's call and everything going on with our team. So first and foremost, guys, I want to go over some announcements, a couple things. Number one, guys, our coach sneak peek started today, and I am blown away because when I was hesitant about doing this at first, and to do this as a team, I didn't know what to expect. We had it, but it seems to be like there's like levels of success with us in Team Perseverance, and we have approximately 140 people, not including coaches, that are in our coach sneak peek. So I'm really, really excited and fired up about that. Almost 140 people. So guys, make sure if you have people in there, okay, we don't want to be on top of them. You know, we want to make this a very light, non-business type environment. So for me, I private messaged them all, just let them know the group is up. You know, I did that in a group message. And then from there, I messaged everybody tonight, let them know like the third post was up. We are going to come up with scripts for you guys. It's all about having systems. So I am going to type something up in the next day or two on how to ultimately, at the end of the group, follow up with your prospects and exactly what to say. Because I know so many people in new are like, oh my God, what am I going to say? And I don't want to scare people away. So we're going to take care of that for you. I'll write it up. I'll put it on the coaches page. And boom, it's there for you guys, right? All right, so second, our 30-day coach training. As you guys know, they run the first Monday of every month. Our next one starts a week from today. I know the other one's only in like going into their third week, but I put the post up on our coaches page. Please tag any new coaches you have or anybody that wants to get in the 30-day coach training. And for anybody, just a reminder, guys, to be in ramp, to be in our Emerald to Diamond ramp training, you have to have gone through Coach Basics and you have had to hit Emerald rank. Okay, so this is mandatory. So if you have any people that are really pushing and driving for the business, have them get in the 30-day coach training that starts on Monday. The people that are in there now are doing great, and so many people grow in those 30 days. So that's number two. Number three, I'm really excited because 1 week from today, guys, Autumn Calabrese's new program, 21-Day Fix Extreme, is coming out. I can tell you, doing Max 30 right now, probably should have taken the whole weekend off, and I didn't. And I did the Dirty 30 workout that I got, and I was barely able to move doing Max 30 this morning. My hamstrings and my legs caused me to be hobbling. It's a great workout. It incorporates weights, and I was pretty excited to do that on Saturday. So get ready, guys. It's coming out 1 week from today. And remember, the last 21-Day Fix sold out not once, not twice, but 3 times. So be prepared to reach out to your people. Next, just a reminder, with Summit, Coach Summit, a lot more people from our team are going. A lot of people have been sending me messages looking for rooms. So what I did is, if you are on that doc and you added your name, guys, that you're going to Summit and you're looking for a roommate, just put next to your name, looking for a roommate or willing to get a roommate. Let's connect people so you can split the cost of the room. All right, so instead of everybody messaging different people, let's just create it off the doc. So please go back and add that in. And guys, I recommend you really don't room with like more than 3 people, like tops. It's 1 bathroom. A lot of stuff is stacked. You don't have much time. So 2 ideal, 3 you can do in. You get to like 4, 5, 6. I know you may be saving money, but it will get a little crazy, just FYI. The Team Beachbody Cup, it's the last week to register for that. I know one of my coaches, Rob Krasansky, is going to be a captain. He was looking for like 1 more person or 2 more people. So please, I put another post up today. If you're not on a cup team, guys, you should be on a cup team. So be sure to connect. And if you're still looking for somebody to get on a team with, just private message me. We will figure it out. Last but not least, before we get into recognition, the men's leadership event is in Dallas on March 28th. So for all our men that are on the team, guys, I looked at the list of some of the speakers that I saw. The vast majority are in the Millionaires Club. Some of them I know who I've got to speak to personally. Great leaders. This is an event that's just for the men, and I'm really excited for this opportunity. I booked my flight, my room, and my ticket, and it's something that I know, like they say, like Eric Worre says in the last chapter of his book of GoPro, one of the last chapters, that making live events is game changers. So this is a great live event for all us men. So guys, with that, let me get right into recognition. And again, these are coaches on our team that have 200 volume points or more for the week. So I'm just going to bring that up here. Starting with the 200 club and then working our way down. While I'm pulling this up, guys, is there any questions on anything so far? If there is, please just unmute your line. Anything, guys? No questions. All right. So in the 200 club with 215, we have Michelle Della Sala. Way to go, Michelle. With 225, Tara McGinty. With, let's see, moving on, the 200 club. With 285, Matt Guy. Way to go, Matt. 207, Josephine Scirino. Way to go, Josephine. And I'm sorry if I pronounced your last name wrong. I'm trying my best. And guys, we have a lot of people in the 100 club, a ton. But as if you remember, a couple weeks ago, I am no longer, to save time, to be recognized with your team volume points. It's 200 team volume points or more because we were just growing as a team, and I didn't want to take up too much of your time. So that is the 200 club. In the 300 club, we have Shana Carlucci at 387, Melissa Prasad at 330. Moving on, let's see. 300 club, Laura Carter at 395. And that's it in the 300 club. In the 400 club with the team, I know I saw somebody in the 400 club. There it is, G. Marie Cregan. I saw G. Marie on the call. Way to go, G. Marie, at 450. And that is it in the 400 club. In the 500 club, we have Samantha Healy at 510. Let me see if there's any more 500s. 500s. Just still looking, guys. 500s. Nobody else in the 500s. 600, and I think I know our winner. We're jumping right to, and guys, this one doesn't surprise me. I'm just going to say right off the bat, our winner is Kristen Smalls, and she has 30 Success Club points this month, and she has team volume last week of 859. And I'm just going to say, Kristen, amazing week with 859 team volume points and 30 Success Club points. You're going to be one of our next speakers to tell us what you're doing at 859. So congratulations and leading Team Perseverance with your volume and also with the Success Club points. So guys, with that, any questions on anything? Anybody? No questions. All right, guys, then without further ado, I want to get into and introduce Amanda. I ran into Amanda, as you guys know, when you get to 5-star, you get in a Facebook group called The Wall, and Amanda was posting about getting people to guest speak on her call, and I'm actually right after this going to talk on her call, and we went back and forth. I spoke to her a little bit about her life page. We had some good messages back and forth. I learned some things already from her and seeing her life page. And I asked her if she would be willing to talk on our call, and she absolutely said yes. And a little bit about Amanda, okay? She's happily married. She's a mom of three kids like myself, ages 10, 8, and 2. And guys, check this out, all right? She was a 2012 Elite Coach. She was a 2013 Premier Coach. She was a 2014 Elite Coach with me this past year. She's a Master Trainer from 2011 to present. She's a Success Club All-Star, which means she's hit Success Club all 12 months in the past year. She's a 5-star diamond in her first business center, a 2-star diamond in her second business center, and a 1-star diamond in her third business center. I mean, wrap your brain around that. And her husband is also a 1-star diamond. So absolutely amazing. So with that, I'm going to unmute your line, Amanda, and welcome welcome to the call.
Thank you so much for having me, David. I appreciate you guys. I love seeing so many faces. Wow, impressive. I can tell why you have so many coaches on your call. Your energy is absolutely fantastic, and we are drawn to that. So thank you guys so much for having me. You know, David just kind of listed a whole bunch of accolades, and I have to tell you, if he would have read my accolades from about 5 years ago when I first started Beachbody, that list would have certainly looked different. It instead would have read single mom of 2, bankrupt, homeless, my home was foreclosed on, unemployed, and yeah, that pretty much covers it. I know, all of those things are, happen daily in people's lives, and I kind of was hit with it all at once. And, at that moment, I have a college degree. I'm from a great, had a great childhood, all of that. I knew in my heart that that was just a situation I was in, made some poor choices in my 20s, and that there was something more out there for me. I had recently become a group fitness instructor. And if you guys know anything about being a group fitness instructor, probably the one thing you do know is that it does nothing to pay the bills. At the end of the month, if you've paid for your music, your choreography, and your workout attire, which you go through pretty quickly when you're teaching a lot of classes, you're doing good. So at that point in time is when my sponsor, Melissa McAllister, had approached me about becoming a Beachbody coach. And we met at a Starbucks. And quite honestly, I didn't know anything about it. I was one of the minority in the United States that had no idea what P90X or Insanity was. I like to sleep at night, not watch infomercials. So I had no clue. I really didn't know. When she asked me about Beachbody, I kid you not, I thought that she thought I had a nice body. That she wanted, I don't know. I didn't know what she wanted. So I Googled a little bit, and I kind of went, I think it might be some kind of MLM. I really don't know. And we met, and everything that she said to me really made sense. It was obvious that it would be a great company to align with, very little risk. I loved that we didn't have inventory and all of those other things that you have heard about in other MLMs. And I really wanted to do it. So I checked my bank account while we sat there, and I looked at her and I went, I don't have $130 to sign up today. And I felt miserable. It was just another one of those scenarios where, I don't know if any moms out there can relate to being in the grocery store line and getting ready to check out. And then all of a sudden your heart starts racing and your chest gets hot and you start to panic and you think, I don't even know if I can pay for these groceries. You just watch that number go up. I mean, it was that moment sitting there across from her thinking, I want this. This is such a basic want. I want groceries for my family. I want to have an opportunity to build a business, and I couldn't do it. So I said, will you meet with me again in 2 weeks? I promise I'll have the money. And of course, she's sweet and humble as she still is today. And she said yes. And it grosses me out to think about it now, but I fed my kids hot dogs for 2 weeks so that I could afford the coaching opportunity. It made sense to me to start with Shakeology. There weren't challenge packs back then. Whoa, I've been a coach a really long time. This was November of 2009. I signed up to be a coach, and that was literally 2 weeks after I had been in court filing bankruptcy. So it was I really and truly started from the bottom. And fast forward to my first live event. I really floundered around. They didn't have Coach Training Academy. They didn't have Coach Basics. There was no Emerald to Diamond program. There was nothing 5 years ago. Nothing. It was you're a coach. Good luck. Have fun. Figure it out. And so I just kind of dilly-dallied around with it. I drank Shakeology. I liked it. But that was really and truly about it. I attended a live event because Carl Deichler came to Dallas-Fort Worth, and he drew in, back there 5 years ago, he drew in about 50 people to this event. It was huge. It tells you how fast and far we've come. Our last Super Saturday, we had 1,500 people. But so there's 50 of us there, and I got to hear Carl speak. And when I heard him speak, it's just like what David said earlier, I had that aha moment, and I went, this is it. This is how I'm going to make a life for my family. I'm going to do this. And at the event, they just talked about being diamond. That was the next step. And at the time, they had this program called 90 Days to Diamond. I said, I'm going to do that. And I did it in 60 days, and I was diamond. And then I got a coach to do it with me, and he went diamond in 30 days. And I guess, you just kind of build on that momentum. I hit 5-star for the first time, I guess, in 2012. So it was in my third year in, I think, where it really all started to click and come together a lot. The business had changed a lot. Challenge packs came out, and there was just a lot of growing and changing as the business grew and changed. So I hit 5-star for the first time in 2012. Then in the beginning of 2013, I had since then gotten remarried. And so we had a baby in the late 2012. And in 2013, very shortly after, finding out that I hit Elite, I also found out that my dad had been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And I'm here in Dallas, Fort Worth, and all of my family is in southeastern Minnesota in a tiny little farming community. And I spent the year where I needed to be, which was with my family. Did a lot of flying back and forth. And to this day, it gives me chills because my sister would call and she would be like, I need you here tomorrow. Something's going wrong or something's bad or just whatever it was. And she'd be like, you really need to come now. And I would look at my husband and be like, oh my God, how are we going to buy an overnight, like a 24 hours notice, buy a ticket for me to go home and see my family or be with my dad or take care of things. And of course he said what husbands do. And he said, we'll figure it out. And I kid you not, every single time that happened, I would wake up the next morning and there would be my bonus for being elite. I don't know how it happened, but it just did. And that year, that's the year that I hit Premier. And I could feel really, really bad about hitting Premier and going backwards. But there's a point to all of this, and I'll get to that in the end. I also lost a lot of diamonds that year. It was really a treading water and staying as present as I could while having a really young baby and a sick dad and a lot of other things going on. Oh, we moved 4 times that year also, 4 times with my whole family. And my husband also had surgery because he tore his bicep out of his arm. So it was just one of those years, and we all have them. And I managed to tread water and still hit Premier. And then I just picked myself back up, and I call 2014 my rebuilding year. Now we have however many, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I don't know. I think I have like 13 or something combined. If you combine all 4 business centers, is something like 13 diamonds. And that's all happened just recently in this rebuilding year. And now we're moving forward again. And it felt really good to get that elite status back for my team and to prove to them again, that we did it and we can come back and recover. And really, I share all of that with you guys because I know what happened to me, any one of those things, any of them, whether it's bankruptcy, unemployment, home foreclosure, sick family members, having a baby, moving multiple times, any of that. All of you could be going through any one of those right now. And I get it. I've been a coach for 5 years. My life hasn't stood still. It hasn't been perfect, and it hasn't been easy. But the one thing that I can tell you is that I believed in this business and in this opportunity, and I believed in what it could do. And so I stayed consistent. I showed up every single day, whether I wanted to or not. I treated it like I treat brushing my teeth. I won't say like I treat showering because as a fitness instructor, we don't do that very much. But I treat it like brushing my teeth. I do it every day. It's a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable. Every day, no matter what. And I did it. I didn't do it as well, and my energy wasn't as great when I, had a sick father or, any of the other struggles that I did through, but I still did it. I mean, you all know like that saying, oh, there's Lucy. She's giving me a photobomb. That saying though, like there's no such thing as a bad workout, and there's no such thing as a bad power hour. You've got to be doing your power hour every single day. And if you do that, and it's so everybody wants to know like the secret to being a successful coach. And you hear every successful coach say there isn't one. The only thing I can tell you is that it doesn't matter. You can't think about the outcome. You just have to do the work. You know, when you start a new fitness program and you gain a few pounds and you're like, what? Who gives? I'm working out and eating clean, and it's been 5 days and I've gained 3 pounds. What? Okay, the business is going to be that way, right? You're going to work super hard some weeks. You're going to do 2-hour power hours, right? And you're just going to be like more diligent than ever. And then you're going to get 50 no's. And you're going to be like, but I asked more people than I ever have. And you just can't care. You have to consistently show up for the job every single day. And in the end, it is a numbers game. In the end, it will pay off. In the end, the outcome will come. But you can't keep quitting. You have to stay the course. You have to stay present. Again, even when everything was kind of falling apart in my life, I stayed present on social media. I scheduled posts. I found things that were motivating me in a dark and struggling time for myself. I shared them. I was authentic. I still cared about people. And because of that, we're still here. And my team is growing and has more momentum than ever. I'm so proud of how far we've come. I feel like I've absolutely got the best group of people around me now, more so than I could have ever dreamed of. And I tell you, there is no secret. I just never quit. I never quit. There's no secret. Be consistent. And over time, it's that compound effect. I know you've all read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. If you haven't, you must. And I don't really know what else to say. I can answer questions, but that's just kind of my story.
Amanda, I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, I gotta recap some of the things you said. Homeless, single mom of 2, then you had a baby, remarried, your father got really sick. I mean, I wrote in big letters, no excuses, and I circled it. And I just think, you know, one of my diamonds says, you know, there's no way you can't succeed in this business if you're not consistent. And I really feel that is exactly the truth. And if you did this, and team, you got to hear this. If Amanda did this with what she went through, broke and homeless and bankruptcy, there is no reason why each and every one of you can absolutely do this. Amanda, what would you say your important must-dos? You show up every day, but what would you say your daily to do this looks like? Like, what are you doing every single day? Your life page is phenomenal, and I know you focus there. Following, I always say, success leaves clues. So team, make sure you're following Amanda's life page, because she even gave me ideas, and I'm learning. You know, you learn from other people. So, Amanda, what some of your day things are?
Yeah, sure. And feel free to write this down. Your first power hour. Here's your list. Power hour number 1. If you only have 1 hour, these are the things that happen. Period. Nothing else. Number 1, add at least 3 people to your network and start a conversation. Add at least 3 people to your network and start a conversation. Number 2, and you're going to do these in order, and it's going to be painful because you're going to want to jump around, but you got to do them in order. Number 2, connect with 5 people from your master list. You do not have to talk about Beachbody or fitness. Just connecting, okay? Connect with 5 people from your master list. You do not need to bring up Beachbody or fitness. Number 3, challenge groups. Invite 3 new people and follow up with 3 people. And I kid you not, guys, I've been doing this for 5 years, and that is the one that's the hardest for me. It's harder than recruiting, inviting people to challenge groups. But I got to do it. I force myself every single day. Invite 3 new, follow up with 3. Number 4 is challenge group check-in. So I kind of like to call that upholding your promises. You promise these people you're going to be there for them, so uphold that promise. Check in with your challenge groups. And number 5 is respond to messages and emails. That was last. Did you notice that? It was last. Because you can't get sucked into the vortex. And I will tell you, every single day I do this, and it doesn't matter how many challenge groups I have, it doesn't matter how many messages I have, it always takes me 1 hour exactly. If any of you are able to do it in more or less than an hour, you need to email me because I don't believe you. That's power hour number 1. Now, many of you that are really trying to grow are going to have a second power hour. If you have a second power hour in your day, this is what happens next. Number 6, this is power hour number 2. Introduce the business opportunity to at least one person and plant a seed. Introduce the business opportunity to at least one person. Plant a seed. Number 7, post or schedule at least 3 engaging posts. See how that came in the second power hour? It's gotta be down there on the list. There's other stuff that's more important. Number 8 is your personal development. And this is just your 15 minutes. I would say you need to have that somewhere else as well. It's going to be in power hour number 2, but you better be listening with a Bluetooth in your shower. You better be listening in your car everywhere you go. And if you take walks in the middle of the day or you run, you better have personal development playing in your ears, because I'll tell you, 15 minutes is not enough. It's not enough. Number 9 is going to be send communication to your coaches. So that, wow, imagine that, guys. You're putting them last. Guess what? You got to spend 80% of your time on you and your business and showing them how to do it, being the example for them. Only 20% of your time should be spent actually one-on-one with them. So that's number 9, is send communication to your coaches. Number 10 is going to be listen to a training or create one. And that's your second power hour. And early on in the business, I was trained by kind of a well-known MLM guy, and one of his famous sayings that's been drilled in my head and it's stuck is the first things first and the second things not at all. Notice how there was nothing about trolling Facebook, stock top coaches. It wasn't there. It wasn't there. Because if you only have 2 hours, then those are the things you're going to do. All right? Guess what you do if you have power hour number 3? Does anybody know? Repeat power hour number 1. Do more of the stuff that matters. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't get all crazy and do these other things. You repeat the important things. That's what you do in power hour number 3 or 4. So that's what I do. I would say, just because you brought it up, and this is a little bit off topic, but you brought up like pages. A like page is something that I think everybody needs to start from day 1. And I want you to know it's probably not going to pay off for you till 2 or 3 years from now. It's one of those really slow building things. And you just have to know, like, just trust David or myself or whoever in that you want to be building it and growing it now. It may not pay off for you for a while, but when you've been a coach for 5 years and every single person who's on your personal page is either a coach, has been a coach on your team more than once, has been in 15 challenges of yours, eventually that 5,000 limit on your personal page is gonna be dead. You have to just believe and trust that building that with zero expectation that it's gonna give you anything in return in the beginning, just build it anyways. And down the road, you'll be able to utilize that, whether it's through ads or just, building a better brand for yourself.
Awesome. Guys, I know I saw some questions pop up. I think Danielle Wortman, and then guys, I'll open the floor up. What do you use to schedule your posts? That's from Danielle Wortman.
Yeah, Danielle, great question. I don't schedule, I do everything live on my personal page. So on my personal page, everything's live. And I think that that's really, really important because your personal page, people can see right through scheduled posts. They also don't show up as well. I know you guys probably know Facebook has affinity. And anytime something's pre-scheduled on your personal page, it's just not going to get seen by very many people. So on my personal page, I do everything live. On my like page, I actually use the Facebook scheduler. So if you have a like page, you'll notice when you're typing or putting in your pictures or whatever, there's a little button that says post, and then you can like scroll it down and it'll say like now or schedule. And you just click schedule and you put in the date and the time, and it's really, really simple. So I actually use the Facebook scheduler. When it comes to like scheduling for challenge groups, I like Buffer. So check into that. Buffer is a different one. I know Hootsuite's used a lot, but Buffer is really good.
I'm going to turn to gallery view. Guys, any other questions? Put your hand up to the screen or unmute your line. I got to just scroll through everybody.
I got to say, too, you can probably see in the corner, you see a little picture of a couple. Hold on. I'm going to grab it. I'm in my sweat, so don't look at. I'm in my bedtime, but this is probably one of the most meaningful pictures. I know there's glare. Sorry. One of the most meaningful pictures I have was this broke, bankrupt, homeless, unemployed mom got to take her boys to the Bahamas. That was my first Success Club trip, and this photo is just so near and dear to my heart. This was their first day ever in their lives at the beach, just sitting there soaking it in. And since then, we've been to the Bahamas, we've been to Disney, the cruise last year, and then we'll be in Cancun. So
that's right.
Yeah, full circle. That was some pretty powerful stuff too.
Whose hand was that? Oh, it was Jen Holman. Hey, Jen, go ahead.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for sharing your story. It's so inspiring. I have a quick question for you. I do have a like page, and I wanted to, how do you differ your posts from your like page versus what you put on your personal page?
Yeah, thank you. That's a really, really smart question. Okay. Ooh, I need like another hour. Okay, so here's my simple answer. Personal page, more personal. They want to know, they like the occasional post about your kids. They like that you're, crazy busy mom in car line and doing yada yada. They like to see where you're going and what you're doing, and your workouts, your pictures don't have to be as perfect on your personal page. More real life play-by-play stuff. Flip the switch, okay? But they still want to see the good. If you've got a mess, by the way, turn it into a message. Turn your mess into a message. So when you're going through the bad stuff, it's okay, but turn it around. Your personal page, they want to know that stuff because they know you're lying if you're not sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like page, that's your servant page. How can I serve the greater community? What makes my specific story? Why does someone want to coach with Amanda Dewey and not David Atkins? What's going to make them choose Jen Holman over David Atkins? Why? They're going to connect to you and your story. I can tell you with a like page, you can see insights and all this stuff, and I've tested for years. And to this day, still, I cannot post a picture of my kids. They don't like it. They don't want to see it. They don't want to hear it. They don't care. Occasionally, with the right wording, I can have a successful post with a picture of, like a professional picture of me and my husband, and it will go okay. I would say 99% of my posts need to be specifically related to my story, which I only talked about my financial transformation, but for me, I had been pretty fit my whole life, and then right around the time my dad died, I had some autoimmune stuff come up, and I've since gone gluten-free and yada, yada, yada. So I share a lot about that. So a lot of people follow my page because they want to know, how do you eat gluten-free on the run? What are you feeding? What are you feeding the rest of your family? Where are you doing it? Where are you, like a lot of stuff like that. They want accountability. They want a health and fitness coach, and they want Amanda, the health and fitness coach, and why they chose me. Whereas my personal page wants Amanda, who also happens to be a health and fitness coach. Does that help at all?
No, it definitely does. It's just like I'm struggling with where do I put things, and for a while I was putting everything on my like page, and then I'm like, wait, I'm not putting anything on my personal page about my Beachbody stuff, and it's challenging.
It is. I would say, Brandon Burchard, who I don't know if you guys are following him or not, but you should be. He's an absolute social media genius. And I was just at an event with him recently, and he said right now the magic number for Facebook like pages is 4 posts a day. Brandon Burchard. I can type that out here in a second, but 4 posts a day, and I struggle. I'm 3. I can do 3. I haven't gotten up to 4 yet, but And then personal page, quite honestly, if I post twice a day, I try to hit the like mid-morning after moms have dropped kids off at school crowd and I'm checking Facebook. And then I try to hit again at like after kids are in bed crowd, which is hard for me because I like to go to bed. But I see that I need a lot less on my personal page. People don't need like the play-by-play. If you make your posts good and engaging when you post on your personal page, they'll get seen by enough people. Whereas I feel like page posts have to be like every time. But also I was going to say to you, try some different things. Post a bunch of stuff and then check your insights on Facebook and see which posts were getting organic reach. What time of day are your people on? The great thing about like pages is you don't have to guess. David and I talked a lot about running ads, and what was so interesting to me was like, I'm 33. I figured my target market was like, if I were to go out and make an ad and guess, like I just had to tell someone, well, my target market, I would say maybe 27 to 44. Okay, that's what I would guess. I would guess wrong because my Facebook insights told me my target market is actually 23 to 30. I'm attracting a younger market. I don't know why. I don't know why, but that's who I'm attracting. So now that's who I target.
All right.
And I think just own your story, various aspects, whether it's physical, financial, any part of it. Really think about your avatar, and when you type, speak to that person.
Okay.
And the more you speak specifically, I mean that person, exactly what she looks like. And when you like have a picture of her in your head, type your post to her, and you'll be amazed at what happens on your like page.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Guys, any other questions?
In the chat box, I got, what's an example of an engaging post? So one way to say what's an engaging post is something you need to think about is, can people like that? Can people like that? Because when you put something weird, like, for example, let me pull it up. When you put something weird, do you know those posts where you're like, well, I want to show that I saw the post because I want them to know I'm thinking about them, but I don't think that if I like it, that means that I like that their cousin's in the hospital, right? So is your first question you're going to ask yourself is my post likable? Like if I saw that, would I click like? That's one thing. If you're going to ask a question, ask it first and then say what you're going to say. And now you may not start your post knowing what the question's going to be, but when you get to the end and you ask the question, there's this great thing called cut and paste. Paste it up at the top. People are more likely to respond when they see the question first. They see the question, they're like, oh, I can answer a question. I feel smart. And they'll do that. They may not always read the whole thing, but it'll at least get them thinking that they can read the whole thing. Also, bullet points rather than long paragraphs, or if you do have long paragraphs for a longer post, I have an English degree. I know that this is not correct, but start a new paragraph after every 2 sentences. Nobody wants to read a long thing on Facebook, and you've done it. You read 1 or 2 words, and you're like, oh God, that looks like a paragraph. I don't read paragraphs. And you scroll away. But if you see 2 lines, you're like, oh, I could read 2 lines. And you'll read 2 lines and then be like, oh, and you'll read 2 more, and it'll keep going. And then also, I think an engaging post is anything where you can turn your mess into a message. I posted tonight, my 2-year-old daughter took a major face plant into cement, chipped her tooth, fat lip, scraped the whole side of her face. I mean, it's just the most miserable picture. Now you're thinking, people aren't going to like that. That's what you said not to do. But I turned the mess into a message. I was like, it's all good. She's having a popsicle, yada, yada, yada. I think I have 80 comments on just, my daughter crying. It was an engaging post because I was able to turn it into a message. Didn't plan it this way, but I also happen to have a question on my personal page right now. Starts with a question, and then I say a few things. 54 comments. So, yeah, there you go.
How's she doing?
She actually, I have to add to that post, she then requested a birthday party. So So my kids had pizza and birthday cake for her tonight. She is not her birthday. Her birthday's in August because her face hurt. So we had to celebrate her birthday. We even had to sing happy birthday to her. So she's okay. Yeah.
Any other questions, guys, for Amanda? This is being recorded, so it will be put up for you guys to listen because she gave some great points. Anybody, just put your hand up to the screen. We have probably like 2 or 3 more minutes, and then I'll let Amanda go to get ready for her call. Anybody? Come on, guys. I know you're probably end up sending her private messages. She's a busy mom.
If you're wondering, everybody's wondering, right?
I know. I get it all. You get it all the time. Everybody's good? Everybody's good. All right, if everybody's good, then Amanda, I want to say thank you so much, and I'll be with you in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And thank you, and I took a ton of notes. And guys, I have to sum this up and say there is a no excuse attitude with Amanda, and that's why she is where she is. I can't say it enough that when you are consistent every day and you have no excuses and you live life by design, not by default, and you do not let the circumstances around you dictate where you're going to go in life, it's then that you'll be successful. It's then that you're going to take off in this business. And you've heard it again from somebody that is blowing up a business who took no excuses. So, Amanda, you rock. Thank you so much for being on the call. Guys, have a great week, and I love all you guys, and I'll talk to you guys all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, guys.